Okay, on St. George Island, this is Kingsley Plantation. Dates back to the early 1800s. Long muddy road to get here, really bumpy. It's pretty cool. Looks like a barn over there. Stuff's made out of tabby. There's also slave quarters, which I'll show you in a little bit. Now, tabby is like a slurry, or I guess is mud and shell. Nice shot of the house over there. Bunch of info on the harvesting of the crops by the slaves. Here's the inside of this barn. You can see what it's made of. Here's kind of where we're at. Jacksonville is right over in here. Georgia line, Florida Georgia line right there. Looks like they made maple syrup here. Church services, perhaps. A lot of slave history in here on the information boards. Their main crop here was cotton. Just tap the screen if you want to read that. Sort of a depiction of what it would have looked like back in the day. The kitchen house. This is separate from the main house. The beams. Okay, this tells you what tabby is. This makes me hungry now. This is known as Anna's Parlor. It's closed. I'm just looking through the window. I'm gonna make my way up there to the main house. This is interesting. I thought it was early 1820s. This building was constructed in 1798, making it the oldest still standing plantation house in the state of Florida. Doesn't look like a whole lot inside of it. See all the way through. And one thing, it's absolutely beautiful out here today. Nice breeze. This is what the house backs up to. Nice scenic marsh or creek. This is where the merchant ships or boats, supply boats, used to come and pick up the cotton and everything from the plantation way back when. Send them off to wherever. There's a visitor center over there, which I haven't been in yet. There's some old trees on the property. Some of look like they've been through hell over the decades. Okay, now this house is open on weekends. This is a Thursday. They have ranger-led guided tours through the thing. It didn't look like there's much in there, but you find out a lot of history of it. I'm sure in the visitor center I'm going to see a movie or some sort of a film or something. So just keep that in mind if you come here. The tours are weekends only. It's sort of a self-guided deal. And you can pick up a headset, do an audio tour any other time of the week. Here's what it would have looked like back in the day with the slave quarters and the crops and so forth. Fields. Here's some of what they raised here: cotton, indigo, potatoes, sugarcane, and I love okra. African in origin, followed the slave trade to this side of the Atlantic. Huh. Garden looks a little bit overgrown. You can see through the trees there. These are the remains of the slave quarters. There's quite a few of them. That's what it would have looked like altogether. Again, made out of tabby. Click on that if you want to read it, but these things were constructed nearly 200 years ago. Out the tabby process. I don't know if you can see anything or not. Cute little cabin. I'd fix that up and rent it out. Walking into it. Fireplace. big room, another room. I would imagine this is sleeping quarters in there. And that's it. Looking in this one, you can see the remains of the fireplace in there. That giant oak. Now that's the road getting here. It was a couple miles long at least. It's pretty bumpy and rough. Alright, so that's kind of a quick look at Kingsley Plantation. I'm going to go to the visitor center now and actually learn what I filmed. Normal people would do that first, but this is me. Oh well, alrighty then.